So I want to encourage you all, when you don't know what to do, when you don't know your next move to make, you just continue praying to God and asking him to guide you. You get up each and every day and you do your best to keep going. And you do your best in the wisdom and knowledge that you have. But it's so important that you walk in humility before God. My life is a living testimony of what God can do when you turn it over to him. I remember, I wasn't planning on going into this, and I don't know how deep I should go into this. I'll just say, I remember some very specific personal situations in my life when I absolutely felt like giving up. And I tried everything that you would think to do. I'm not going to even lie. I tried cursing that person out multiple times. I tried packing my stuff up and saying, I'm out of here. I tried, getting counselors and other people involved. I tried everything known to mankind. It was not until I said, you know what, God, you take it. It's in your hands. I'm done. In fact, one of the elders at my church, he said to me, he said, Z, if you would learn to just move out of the way and let God handle it, and you just move completely out of the way, you'd actually be a lot better off. And I thought to myself, and I want you guys to catch this real quick. I thought to myself, but that'll make me look weak. You ever felt that way? That'll make me look weak. That'll make it look as if this person's walking all over me. Because if they come for me, I got to come for them. You ever felt that way? That'll make me look weak. And I remember going to, and I'm going to talk about this on a live episode on my podcast. I remember when I went to, my church has these individual kind of Bible studies, and they had one called Spiritual Discovery many years ago. And I'm definitely going to be having the author of that book on my podcast. I'll never forget, I wouldn't even plan on going into this, but I feel God is leading me to tell you. I'll never forget when I walked into one of the first meetings that was led. And everybody had their own situations. And I had so much going on in my life at that time, from finances to the kids, to my marriage, to health, you name it. And at that time, that's when my son, who now has passed, was in and out of the hospital all the time. I was to a point, and then I had a friend or two that betrayed me on something. I was at a point, hang on, my camera's falling a little bit here. I was at a point, you guys, I kid you not, to where I felt like if something don't change, I'm going to jail. Things were, maybe a few people can identify with me. When things are that heated in life and it's just so much going on, you can get to a point where you're like, something's got to change or I'm going to lose it. And I remember going into one of my first study groups, and I'll get into it later. And I'll never forget, I was there to talk about all of the other issues going on in life and what people are doing to me. And I remember this wonderful lady, her name is Virginia. She taught me the importance of sitting silence before God. And she'd say, Z, you got to go silent before him. Go deep. Go silent. Put it in his hands and talk to him. I left that Bible study group so upset. I was so hot the first time I left that group. And I said to her, and she'll be my witness when she comes on as a guest. Now I'm giving you the backdrop of it. It ends in a good way. I said to her, these women are too weak for me. I said, I'm up here trying to deal with some serious issues. And your answer is to go to God and pray? Your answer is to surrender to God, put it all in his hands and seek him first. That's what you're trying to tell me. And it's hot. And keep in mind, I was a Christian, and I ain't see nothing wrong with the way I felt, because I felt like, how on earth is that going to solve anything? By sitting and praying, putting something in God's hands, surrendering to whatever he decides. In the meantime, this person and this person, I feel like I'm going to look like a doormat and they're going to walk over me. And I was hot. And when I left, I said, I don't think I'll be coming back because these women are a little bit too weak for me. Well, God had to humble my little butt a little bit more. And I'm glad that he did. And I went crawling my little butt back the next week to another one of those little study groups. And I'll tell you, and I'm going to fast forward because you guys don't want to hear me all day. I'll just tell you this. When I tell you, I had no idea there was such power in turning it over to God. I had no idea that there was such power in surrendering, holding my tongue, and allowing God to show up and be God in my life. I didn't know that power existed. I didn't know it was there. I thought the power had to be in me. I had to speak up. I had to figure out the situation. I had to get things situated in life first. Then I'll have time to worship God. Then I'll have time to put him first. That's what I thought. First, I got to take care of this mess. Then when there's peace in my life, and then when everything's sort of okay, and I can see how my bills are going to get paid and my kids are going to be taken care of and this and that, then I can go with some peace and go before God and try to give him all my life. I had it backwards. I was wrong. So I tested God. And I kept crawling my little butt back to those little Bible study groups, sitting in silence, saying, Lord, please speak to me. Show me how to walk in humility. I've tried everything I know to try, and nothing's changing. My finances are not changing. My kids acting like they done lost their minds. My marriage falling apart. My health, everything you could imagine was being melted. Everything you could imagine. When I tell you the peace I began to feel, hold on, my camera's falling down. The peace I began to feel as I turned it over to him. I said, God, this don't feel right because I feel like a doormat. Oh my God, I feel like people are getting away with stuff, God, and you're just allowing it to happen. And God just kept telling me, be still. Be still. Be still and know that I'm God. And so, God, this hurts. I want to curse this person out so bad. I want to take matters in my own hand, God. Everything was hurting. When I tell you that God showed up and showed out, he turned all of it around. He transformed my heart. He changed me into a whole nother person. He began to speak to me. Initially, when I would sit and I would just pray to him and I would go to him, I didn't hear nothing. And I remember telling Virginia, a friend of mine who led that group, I said, I don't hear nothing. I know we say the Holy Spirit speak, but I feel like I'm just hearing my own truth. She says, Z, you keep going before him. Silence yourself before him. If you see his face, the Bible teaches us he will respond. You will find him if you seek him with all your heart. And I kept praying and I kept praying. And I remember when he began to speak to me, he began to give me these little steps and show me what to do and tell me what to do. He began to really, to be honest, humble me about some things that I had done wrong. I was looking at what everybody else had done wrong. I didn't really realize my wrong in it. And when I finally moved my little butt out the way and let God do what he needed to do, I am a living witness to you. God has tremendously blessed my life and changed everything around. And I wish to God I can go into detail about one or two very personal situations involved in my marriage and in my personal family life. I will tell you, it was not until I fully surrendered and said, God, you take it. You deal with it. This on you. I'm you. I'm going to do my best to get up every day and do the little bit I got to do, but the rest is in your hands. You deal with it. It's yours. You say surrender. You say trust you. Fine. I ain't got nothing else to do anyway but go to jail at this point with how mad I am. So you take it. And I'm telling you, there's such power. There's such power. There's such power in humbling yourself before God. He transformed everything. He changed it all. At that point, my finances and things were so bad. It was so many things going on. And this was years ago, but it was so much. God walked me down paths and told me what to do. He said, Z, now it's time to go and start this business. I said, God, I don't have the money to do that. He put in my spirit, do what I tell you. Hello, everyone. Thanks for listening. This is Z with Unlocking Greatness Podcast. Please don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and the notification button. Love you all. Bye-bye.